Hello, it's me Elaine from Quills and Quacks. In this video, I will review some common crochet stitches that is used in amigurumi. Alright, so if you've been following along with my videos, at this point you should now know what a single crochet is, a increase is, and a decrease. But let's review our single crochet. So we'll insert into our stitch, grab some yarn, pull through, grab some yarn and pull through both loops. And that's a single crochet. So I'll do that again. Insert a stitch into a stitch, grab some yarn, pull through, grab some yarn and pull through both loops. Okay, so in a single crochet increase, or just an increase, means 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So we'll insert our hook into a stitch, grab some yarn and pull through. That's the first single crochet. Insert back into the same stitch, grab some yarn and pull through. So that is a increase. We'll do that one more time. I'm going to insert into the stitch, grab my yarn, pull through, insert into the same stitch, grab some yarn, and pull through. And the other stitch that you've learned so far is the decrease. So the decrease is inserting your hook into the first loop of the first stitch, then inserting your hook into the first loop of the second stitch. You grab some yarn, pull it through just the first 2, and then grab some yarn and pull it through the last 2. So we'll do that one more time. Insert your hook into the first loop of the first stitch, insert your hook into the first loop of the second stitch, grab some yarn, pull through those 2 loops, the first 2 loops, then grab some yarn and pull through the last 2 loops. Alright, so let's move on. So I'm going to show you next is what a double crochet will look like. You first start off with 1 extra loop on your hook. Now you insert into a stitch, grab some yarn and pull through. You should now have 3 loops on your hook. Grab some yarn, pull through the first 2 loops, grab some yarn, pull through the next 2 loops. Again, we will start off with 1 extra loop on our hook, insert into our stitch, grab some yarn, pull through, 3 loops on our hook, grab some yarn, pull through just the first 2, pull through the next 2, and that is a double crochet. I will now show you a triple crochet, which is very similar in terms of a double crochet, but now you're going to wrap 2 loops around your hook, insert into the stitch, pull some yarn. Should have 4 loops on your hook, grab some yarn, pull through just the first 2, grab some yarn, pull through the next 2, grab some yarn and pull through the last 2. So let's do that again. Wrap twice around your hook, insert into a stitch, grab some yarn, pull through, 4 loops on the hook, pull through just the first 2, grab some yarn, pull through the next 2, and grab some yarn and pull through the last 2. and that's a triple crochet. The next stitch that you may come across is called a half double crochet. Now a half double crochet starts off just like a double crochet, so you're just gonna add one wrap extra loop around your hook, insert into a stitch, grab some yarn, pull through. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. Now the difference between a half double crochet and a double crochet is now that you're going to grab some yarn, you're going to pull through all 3 loops. And that's a half double crochet. So let's do that again. Wrap your yarn once around your hook, insert into a stitch, grab some yarn, pull through, 3 loops on your hook, grab some yarn and pull through all 3 for a half double crochet. Now the next stitch I want to show you is called a slip stitch, where you just insert your hook through a stitch, grab some yarn, pull through, and continue pulling through the loop. Wow, slip stitch. Insert into a stitch, grab some yarn, pull through, and continue pulling through. And that's a slip stitch. So slip stitch are usually used as a connecting stitch or a finishing stitch, depending on what the pattern says. Alright, so there was one more stitch I want to show you. Here was a chain stitch while you're in a round. To chain stitch, you'll just grab some yarn, pull through, and that makes 1 chain. Grab some yarn, pull through, it's 2 chains, 3 chains, and 4 chains. So you just do as many as the pattern calls for. The other term too you'll see is turning. To turn means to go back down the chain stitch. So you always insert your hook from the second chain from the hook. So you see this is the first chain here, and this is the second chain here. So you will always insert your hook into the second one. So insert your hook into the second chain, and depending what the pattern calls for, in this case I'm just going to do a single crochet. And I'll just go to the next chain, insert my hook, create another single crochet, then insert my hook, okay. So depending on the pattern, sometimes you go back into the same stitch that you started with, or you go into the next stitch and finish it off. It might be a slip stitch, it might be a single crochet, just depends what the pattern calls for. So again, I'll show you again. How to create a chain stitch. So from here, grab some yarn, pull through, grab some yarn, pull through, grab some yarn, pull through, grab some yarn, pull through. Now turn, insert into the second chain from the hook, grab some yarn, pull through, insert into the next chain, grab some yarn, pull through, insert into the next chain, grab some yarn, pull through. And I'm just gonna connect. Right, so I will demonstrate a chain stitch from a slip knot. So let's first create our slip knot. You have your tail end here, your yarn end on this side. You're going to place your tail end just behind your yarn end to form a little loop. So your yarn end is on top of the tail end like that. Let's just hold it in place. You're going to take some yarn from your yarn end, insert it through that loop and pull, and grab it from the top and pull. Now you formed a slip knot. Now insert your hook into that loop and pull your yarn end, and that will shrink down the slip knot, and just pull just enough to so that's firm on your hook. Okay, and now to do a chain stitch. So you're just gonna grab some yarn and pull through to make a chain stitch. Grab some yarn and pull through. Grab some yarn and pull through. I also find what helps with a chain stitch is to have your thumb and finger hold just underneath each new chain stitch that you make. So make a chain stitch, move up. Make a chain stitch and move up. And that kind of helps keep your stitches a little bit more even. Now again, if you need to turn your work and go back down, you insert your hook into the second chain from the hook, which is in most cases. There is the odd case where they'll tell you to insert it into a different stitch from the hook, but the patterns will tell you. But in most cases, it's the second chain from the hook. So again, see your first chain here, your second chain, and we insert into that second chain and grab some yarn, and I'm just gonna make a single crochet down the chain. So I'm just gonna go into my next chain, create a single crochet, chain, single crochet, and we do one more. All right, and to fasten off, you can take off your hook, cut your yarn, and pull it through. And there you go. And that's a chain stitch with a turn and going single crochet back down. That's pretty much all the stitches or the common stitches that you need to know for working on amigurumi. So thank you for watching and happy crocheting. This is Elaine signing off.